Good afternoon, everyone. It's Monday, October 5th, 2009. Northwest wind swell is starting to back down. We still have some southern hemi in the water. And as that northwest wind swell backs down over the couple of days, we should be seeing a couple more bursts. I wanted to show you where those are coming from on the models. Also, we've got a strange wind pattern setting up, but we have a very strong area of low pressure. But I wanted to show you why we're seeing some wind problems yesterday and why we're seeing them some today. But really not going to be seeing much over the next couple of days, although temps will be rather cool. Looks like we're going to get a warm up toward the end of the week. We may see somewhat of an offshore event. It may be light, but models are flip-flopping around on that right now. Looks to be a smaller surf weekend ahead, but we're seeing a couple things coming our way around the 12th, 13th time frame, something from the Tasman Sea, and then also something breaking out of the Bering Sea toward the Aleutians. Wanted to show you how that's coming together. Super Typhoon May-Lor is also now on the radar. That could be entering our swell window in a few days, bringing us something later, probably around the 17th, 18th by the looks of things right now, if it does develop into the Super Typhoon and swirl up north as predicted. Want to show you why. That's still iffy and what's coming together on the models for that, as well as something down only now on the medium range models in the southern hemisphere for something we may see out of the as far as south swell south of Pitcairn Islands around the 15th, 16th. So I want to show you everything that's coming together. This is what's going on right now. Starting out looking at the weather models, we can see a strong area of low pressure here in red, moving down over Southern California. A lot of cold air is associated with this one. It dropped down from Canada. Also, we can see some tight gradients over the area. You can see those are those tighter lines, those tighter isobars. With the low pressure spinning counterclockwise, those winds are moving from the ocean overland. So we've got quite an onshore flow from this. As we move the models forward in time, we can start seeing that changing. Even though we would be seeing a lot of this troughing in this low pressure system sitting down over our region, once we look out another 6 hours, another 12 hours, we see that low pressure system move out, but those gradients stay far offshore. So we're not looking at a lot of gradients blowing wind right over top of Southern California. So even though this low pressure system here, even out Wednesday time frame, very deep over our area, not a lot of onshore flow, but as that system moves to the east, that's when things could change. Once these systems tend to move out even farther, and this is a look at the Thursday afternoon, Friday morning time frame, gradients then start to come right over top of Southern California. And that's because that low pressure system moving counterclockwise, the back side of it, the west side of it, would then be blowing winds from the north to south. So we may be seeing somewhat of an offshore event near the end of the week, but it's a little bit hard to tell just how strong that would be right now. Take a look at the wind chart. This is one of the wind charts generated in my free site, wavecast.com. Just look for these under the winds section, under the forecast of winds. You can see that we're still seeing an onshore flow. Things are still progressing toward the 16, 17 mile an hour range for afternoon onshores. But as we look over the next couple of days in the morning hours, we start seeing the direction of the wind start to change more toward the east-northeast. That looks like it's going to stay that way actually for a good part of the week as we start progressing toward the weekend. So it depends all on what that low pressure system does, though, as it passes to the east and how much of that offshore effect we do get. Take a look at the WAMs. Not a whole lot on the northern hemisphere, but if we look out in the western Pacific, we can see Super Typhoon May-Lor, and that's of interest right now. Could be, though, something coming our way around the 17th, 18th. If we, though, move the models forward in time, we start to see a little bit of activity start to show up around the Aleutians. Really nothing for us down here, but as we go out a little bit more in time, here's another look out about 48 hours, a little bit more activity happening up in the Bering Sea, and that's possibly a good sign. There's a lot of counterclockwise rotation going up there right now. Moving the models a little bit more forward in time, 72 hours, we can see a lot more stuff starting to form around the Aleutians, around the Bering Sea. Also some wind swell starting to form off of our coast. That could be bringing us something, too, around the 9th or 10th. But then it looks like that's going to be strengthening that activity up there in the Bering Sea. And also we can see where Super Typhoon May-Lor would be starting to get caught up in that gyre and moving toward our way. 120 hours out, this is a long shot, but still a lot of activity around the Gulf from the Bering Sea and also May-Lor. Taking a look at what they believe Maylor will be doing. This is from NOAA's site and also from the Joint Typhoon Center in Western Pacific. Taking a look right now, Maylor is blowing 130 knot winds, gusting to about 160 knots. Looks like it's going to take that trajectory that the WAMs are predicting, moving past Japan up toward the Kamchatka Peninsula, then into our swell window near the Aleutians. But it's a little early to call that today. Got to see what happens over the next few days. Moving down now to the southern hemisphere, it's Dollsville. Not a whole lot of anything going on. But if we take a look at the energy, that's the wave analysis models, take a look at the periods now, we can see a few different things headed our way. There's a couple bursts down there right now, down around South America, but they'll be heading up our way, keeping us in some moderate southern hemi, mostly from the southerly direction, through at least the first part of this week, and probably into about Thursday time frame. Nothing big, though. A little bit of something, though, coming out of the Tasman Sea we can see there also. But going back here to the wave analysis models, moving them forward in time, a little bit of action starting to form 48 hours out, looking a little bit more hopeful, and then 72 hours out, looks like we get a fairly sizable system. That's south of the Pitcairn Islands, and that would have about 35-foot seas, and that means we'd get some decent-sized surf in around the 15th, 16th time frame, but that's still a little bit too early to call. It's a very southerly angle with a system not moving in an ideal course for Southern California. It's got to see what happens over the next few days. So that's how things are breaking down right now. Wind swell backing down, also seeing a decrease in the winds. So even though we have a low pressure system over us, cool air, it's not going to be all that warm at the beach over the next couple of days. We will be seeing a calming of the winds. Also looks like we'll be seeing some warming by the end of the week, and it looks like winds may turn a little bit offshore, at least for the morning hours then. Smaller weekend ahead, though, surf-wise, even though we'll be seeing some southern hemi traces and through a little bit after midweek, probably backing down by Thursday, Friday. A little bit of stuff coming up then around 12th and 13th from the Tasman Sea action that's moving our way. That'll be early next week. Also, though, could see more action from the Aleutian area from all that activity that's projected to swirl around the Bering Sea. Next swell after that would probably be around the 15th, 16th time frame if everything works out down the southern hemisphere with that Pitcairn system, but still got about 48, 72 hours to go before we can make a call on that. Also looks like then we could see something out of Super Typhoon Maylor, but that's way too early to call today. Earliest ETA on that would probably be about the 17th, 18th, but just got to keep an eye on it. I'm not expecting too much at this point. Models kind of fizzle it out once it does enter into the Gulf of Alaska. Either way, I'll be keeping an eye on it. I'll be keeping you posted. You can always check out 3 times a week my SoCal Surf Report over at wetsand.com. You can always check out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, my automated site wavecast.com, and to stay updated on everything that's breaking in Southern California, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/wavecast. So until next time, take care, be safe, and smile in the lineup.